actually, really enjoy dirt racing. Feels good to get in the car, and we have, great cars and engines and things at KKR, so it's nice to drive a fast sprint car.
Couple of separate lines developing, three wide action on a turn two. Craig Kinzer, Casey Kane, and Garrett Pittman going at it.
I think the differences between, NASCAR and the sprint races on dirt is just a much different mindset. The way you drive your cars, the setup, the feel you're looking for. I think one of the hardest things to tell as a fan is when you're watching a race, whether it's a NASCAR race, a dirt race, is just what's really going on in the cars. With iRacing, you can get the way that the track's changing, which they've done a great job in how the track changes throughout the night or throughout the race, just to try to capture it and let the fans play it and realize, like, man, there's actually a lot going on, and you can't always see that when you watch a race. So I think it's pretty neat. It's, enjoyable for me, but at the end of the day, it's actually much of a simulation, and there's a lot of ways that you can learn from that. And, early on, it was neat to look at the Cup tracks that I was going to, places that I had never been. So I think it kind of gives you a head start leading into a weekend. It's pretty real life, and that's pretty neat.
There are three different paths if you want to call yourself a world champion of sim racing. NASCAR, open wheels, or endurance racing. But no matter which one you take, you can guarantee that the journey will always be tough, which few will ever complete. The iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series, the premier road racing series in sim racing, started with a new car taking center stage. Then, it was Martin Kroenke resisting any challenge thrown at him to break the 5-year stranglehold of Gregor Hutu as being world champion. These drivers and teams are not just competing for pride, they're competing for money. And with over $20,000 in prizes for each of the series up for grabs, drivers really do put it all on the line.
The NASCAR Beginner for Series, powered by iRacing, is the premier NASCAR eSports series featuring the cars and tracks from the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. The 2016 campaign saw a return to the top of the mountain by Ray Alfalla as a 3-time Oval World Champion. The march to that championship was not easy, though, despite the fact that Ray Alfalla took home the most points in series history. It just also happened to be the tightest championship fight we had ever seen. These guys are set for the 2017 campaign.
The Blancpain GT Series hosts the top GT3 endurance teams in sim racing, with groups of 3 or more drivers sharing the wheel. This is a championship you can't win alone, and you need the same determination, passion and drive from your teammates to be successful. They often say that it takes just one mistake to lose a championship, and in team racing, it may not be your mistake that costs you the win. Last season, VRS Coanda SimSport won the championship by a single point. This year, who will step up to the plate?
These are the iRacing eSport World Championships, the pinnacle of sim racing competition. Catch it all season long with live coverage on iRacing.com/live.
Introducing a whole new form of racing to the best online racing simulation in the world. This is Dirt Racing on iRacing.com. Race online at some of America's most legendary dirt tracks, including Eldora and Williams Grove. iRacing is the premier online racing game featuring NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, and now World of Outlaws, the leading sanctioning body for dirt racing. iRacing is easy to use and features a centralized ranking system to make sure you have the best experience at any skill level. With a massive inventory of high-precision laser scan tracks and cars with an unmatched dedication to quality and detail, iRacing gives you the most authentic online racing experience available. Thanks to iRacing's dynamic track system, developed specifically for dirt racing, tracks change over the course of a race, just like your favorite dirt track on a Friday or Saturday night. From a slick racing groove all the way up to the cushion, iRacing's dirt tracks deliver non-stop racing action. Partnered with the World of Outlaws, iRacing is your source for the most authentic dirt racing experience available, featuring 4 brand new tracks and 11 new cars, including street stocks, Legends cars, late models, NASCAR trucks, winged and non-winged sprint cars, with much more on the way. Join the Dirt Revolution on iRacing.com and start slinging mud today.
Get ready, going green. Green, green, green.
The NASCAR Beginner for Series, powered by iRacing, is the premier NASCAR esports series featuring the cars and tracks from the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. The 2016 campaign saw a return to the top of the mountain by Ray Alfalla as a three-time NASCAR World Champion. The march to that championship was not easy, though, despite the fact that Ray Alfalla took home the most points in series history. It just also happened to be the tightest championship fight we had ever seen. These guys are set for the 2017 campaign, and as it has been for the 7 years prior, it is no longer going to be a straight shot to the championship. We are going to see the biggest change in this championship picture in series history, as for the first time ever, there will be a chase for the championship. We're going to go into the Homestead Miami Speedway at the end of the season with the 4 best oval sim racing drivers in the world absolutely tied in the championship. You just got to beat the other 3 guys out and you will become an official NASCAR champion. You're going to get yourself a NASCAR championship ring and, of course, $10,000. These are the iRacing Esport World Championships, the pinnacle of sim racing competition. You can catch it all season long, live coverage on iRacing.com/live.
Introducing a whole new form of racing to the best online racing simulation in the world. This is Dirt Racing on iRacing.com. Race online at some of America's most legendary dirt tracks, including Eldora and Williams Grove. iRacing is the premier online racing game featuring NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, and now World of Outlaws, the leading sanctioning body for dirt racing. iRacing is easy to use and features a centralized ranking system to make sure you have the best experience at any skill level. With a massive inventory of high-precision laser scan tracks and cars with an unmatched dedication to quality and detail, iRacing gives you the most authentic online racing experience available. Thanks to iRacing's dynamic track system, developed specifically for dirt racing, tracks change over the course of a race, just like your favorite dirt track on a Friday or Saturday night. From a slick racing groove all the way up to the cushion, iRacing's dirt tracks deliver non-stop racing action. Partnered with the World of Outlaws, iRacing is your source for the most authentic dirt racing experience available, featuring 4 brand new tracks and 11 new cars, including street stocks, Legends cars, late models, NASCAR trucks, winged and non-winged sprint cars, with much more on the way. Join the Dirt Revolution on iRacing.com. and start slinging mud today.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
The following is a presentation of iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations on LSR TV, the voice of sim racing.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to the inaugural broadcast of the World of Outlaws Craftsman Late Model Series powered by iRacing. Tonight, the Super Late Models take to the USA International Speedway for 35 laps here on LSR TV. Hello everyone, my name's Austin Coop. Alongside me is Brett Wheeler, and behind the scenes is Cisco Scaramuza, bringing you all the action on DirtOnDirt.com, DirtVision.com, Facebook Live, and iRacing Live. Brett, we are here at USA International Raceway, and we have had a lot of action with the sprint cars the last couple weeks on Mondays, but now it's time for these late models to take their turn, and boy am I excited here at USA.
Oh yeah, this is certainly going to be a fun race track, and I tell you what, I'm excited for these late models. I've seen some of the racing they have provided over the past couple of weeks, and let me tell you, I think we're in for a treat here tonight.
Now, qualifying underway for these guys, as this is actually round number 5 for these guys of 9, and the first championship here for these pro late models here. And I'll tell you that these are not the easy cars to drive when you get into the on this track, and you really start to feel out how dirt is. These cars are so realistic, but they're so difficult to drive, and we're definitely going to see these drivers. They have, for the past month, really started to figure these things out and just really have got accustomed to driving at all 4 of the tracks that are provided right now, and it's going to be a show. We're really excited to present it here, and there's just a lot of the notes have kind of shown themselves what dirt is to be, and now it's kind of really the whole dirt craze is now still here, but now we just kind of, I think, get to enjoy it at this point, Brett.
Oh yeah, and I mean, if you haven't enjoyed it, over the past sort of 5 weeks or so, I mean, I guess dirt racing's not for you. But let me tell you, for me, not only as a commentator but also as a racer, I do like to get in and race as well. But I tell you, there's nothing better than sitting up in the booth here and calling some of the top split guys. And I'm expecting a good show here tonight.
And we're going to take a quick look at the points here in just a moment. There's a big championship on the line for some of these guys, and we're going to look at that list right here. At the top of the board is going to be Dylan Wilson with an astonishing 959 points over Andrew Chenworth, who has a total of 798, so quite the margin. You're going to see other notables up there, and including some of the drivers in this field as well. Jesse Carr, he's in the 4th position, and he's going to be in this race, so we'll definitely take a look at him and see where he lies in all of this, and just many drivers to watch over this one.
Personally, I think you need to watch out for Mike McKinney. I mean, he's always been a fast guy that I've seen race over the past couple of years, and that modified driver now, obviously coming to the late models here on iRacing. I think that all these guys are going to watch out. They're going to have to watch out for Mike McKinney.
And before we do that, and we do want to mention that the Late Model Series tonight is brought to you by iRacing, the leading online racing simulation developed from the beginning as a centralized racing and competition service. iRacing organizes, hosts, and officiates races on virtual tracks all around the world. In the fast-paced world of esports, iRacing is a one-stop shop for online racing with officially sanctioned racing from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, and of course, World of Outlaws. For more information on the wide variety of sim racing possibilities online, visit iRacing.com to sign up today. For a limited time, you can now visit iRacing.com/World of Outlaws and take advantage. For the exclusive promo codes that are available right now, you can get a 1-year membership for half off, or you can simply try it with a 3-month membership for less than $5. So again, that is iRacing.com/World of Outlaws. The grid is now set, qualifying is over, and Jesse Carr, just talked about him briefly a moment ago. He has got your pole, and this is a very close field. He has beat Grant Riles by only 3/100ths, or should I say 1,000ths of a second. So that'll be P2. Mike McKinney, he'll start 3rd. Justin Thomas will start 4th, and Seth the Merchant will start in that number 5th position.
And Dylan Talindi will start out of position number 6. David Coiler Jr. will start 7th. Jeremy Thornton out of position number 8. Virgil Graham in car number 12 will start out of position number 9. And on the outside of the 5th row, it's going to be David Badillo.
And rounding out the last 2 positions on the field tonight, Brad Lawson, he'll start 11th, and Tim Bills, he will start 12th in that number 5 machine. We'll have a little bit of track facts, of course. As everybody knows, USA International has been here for quite some time on the iRacing service, but not quite like this. This is the dirt version, still the same distance, 3/4 of a mile, I should say, for 35 laps tonight, and it's going to be a bit of that still slight progressive banking, but oh, so much different from the asphalt.
Yeah, look, these guys, especially these long straightaways, you only see these long straightaways on dirt, such as Williams Grove, and they're tight as well. When you get to these corners, they're very tight corners as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers adapt to that, along with the track that I can see starting to slicken off already into the corner here, corner number 1. It's going to be difficult to see what these guys do and how their cars react, and see for what kind of setups they've actually got working tonight.
These cars will have 5 races remaining on the season tonight. USA, then they'll go to Volusia, Williams Grove the week after, the Big E of Eldora, and then back here at USA for the finale here for the World of Outlaws Craftsman Late Model Series presented by iRacing. These guys will take a circuit or 2 around this USA Internationals Raceway, and we will get underway here shortly. And that pace truck is going to duck away next time by here, Brett. This is going to be the start of a few-week campaign, but may start to recur here as we see these guys go around one more time.
Yeah, look, as I said, it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers adapt, especially just looking at the track. I mean, this track is tough as it is already, with these tight corners, as I've said. With a slickened off racetrack, I think we're going to see a lot of guys lean on each other, and that's something that you can do here in the world of Outlaws, Craftsman, late models, rather than, in the open wheel cars. You lean on somebody and them, it's generally not going to go too well for you, but late models with the fender panels and stuff like that, I think we may see a few cars leaning on each other, especially in the corners.
Jesse Carr will lead these guys to the start-finish line for the start of round number 5 here at USA International Speedway, and the pace truck is off, dipped underway, and here he goes. Green flag is in the air. We are racing here at USA International Speedway, and these cars are 2x2 already smacking each other here in the first couple corners. That's Grant Riles up to the very top, and there's calamity everywhere, still banging and bumping here in the late goings, but Jesse Carr has pulled out to a 2-car length lead.
Yeah, McKinney runs in second, running the low side of the speedway. DeMerchant now coming from, I think, about 7th spot here, or even 5th spot. He's now found his way up into that 3rd spot as lap 1 is complete. Tell you what, DeMerchant at the moment, he looks like he's got a fast race car and everything, but it's one thing to have a fast race car at the start. Is it going to last for the full 35 laps?
Battle for the top 5. Justin Thomas and Jeremy Thornton, they're battling for that position side by side right in there in corner number 4. See a little bit of wiggle from the inside. Justin Thomas not going to be able to hold on, and Jeremy Thornton, he's going to get that position. He will now be in the top 5, as the top 5 is Carr, McKinney, DeMerchant, Terline, and Thornton now as they're starting to spread out. Use a little bit of the wall. There goes the number 1 of DeMerchant as well, and we're just going to see what these lines bring. These lines are going to start really thickening out 2x2 as they go for 4th place there just for a little bit of a moment. Thornton starting to need a couple positions.
Yeah, well, I'm going to keep an eye on Seth DeMerchant in car number 1. He was actually starting to reel in McKinney, but now seeing that low side of the speedway, it's going to sort of fade away here, probably in the next sort of 5 to 10 laps, and that's where I think we're going to see the drivers start to utilise the top side of the racetrack.
Yeah, hardly anyone's going to be able to really catch that number 4 car just yet. There's a good lead between him and McKinney at this point, but DeMerchant's right on him. You said it just then. He's a guy on a mission right now on the number 2 of Mike McKinney's back bumper, and how long will it take to get around him? He's really the fastest car on the track right now, and he's got the outside really worked up. It's a wonder how that outside's really working out, but he's really the only one who ventured there. Now he's going to go to the inside. Try that. It's not going to quite work out there, but he definitely is right there, ready to pounce if anything happens with that number 2, ready to pounce on a mistake here as we have 30 laps to go.
Yeah, the throttle control of these drivers right now is, it's fairly high up, especially when they try and run through the slick, as DeMerchant gets right up to the rear bumper here of McKinney. Now they go into 1 and 2. McKinney still going to run the low side of the speedway. DeMerchant is going to follow him. They run right through the slick, off turn number 2, run up to the wall down the back straightaway. But I tell you what, Jesse Carr in that number 4 car, he is just gone.
Battle for 4th place right behind these guys started to act up just a little bit. Thornton tried to go over again under Terline and just did not work out that time. He was the closest he'd been in a long time, so definitely that number 7 is trying to get that bumper underneath, maybe make him think he's there and make him move up the track and try it and make that thing work. He's going to go right there, go to the very bottom, maybe try the slide job. He gets into him just a little bit. It's going to be side by side. He's going to hammer him in the wall. Huge hit from that number 9 of Dylan Terline, and the number 7 will get the position, as there's also battling for the 2nd position. That looks like the number 1 of DeMerchant is going to try the exact same thing, but it's not going to work out. 2 of Mike McKinney, he's going to hold him off.
The old Virgil Graham, Justin Thomas and Terline having a great battle here for positions 5, 6, and 7 on the racetrack. But back up towards the front of the field, it's DeMerchant climbing all over the back bumper of McKinney. He's so fast, but he's not fast enough to make the move on the inside. He may have to go to the outside in one of these corners.
Maybe have to take a little bit more time. 25 laps to go at the stripe is what it's going to be, and he's trying that outside line. You can see that he's trying to get the momentum. He's got it right here. Okay, is he going to try the move going into turns number 2? He's not going to. He's going to keep trying that outside line, which is starting to really work out, but he gets a little bit too much into there. It's not going to really it's not really going to hold out. He's actually going to lose a little bit of time on the 2, and he may have to adjust a tiny bit, but he's right back there, and he's having these little breathing moments. He's there, then he's not, and he may be just trying to figure out what's going to work for that number 1 car to get around number 2 of Mike McKinney.
Yeah, the Merchant going to run to the low side in 1 and 2, right in behind McKinney. Yeah, try and tuck in behind that left fender, the left rear fender. But look, the Merchant hasn't got enough drive coming off the corners, and I think this is where the top side is going to start to come, especially in 3 and 4, where we see the Merchant running right now. He's actually a lot faster in 3 and 4 than what McKinney's, I do believe. But I'll tell you what, if the Merchant shows his nose too early, I think McKinney, being a real life driver, he's not going to let the Merchant get around him too easy.
You can't forget about Thornton as well. He's starting to catch him right there, and looks like the number 1 may have made a mistake right there. He's right under him. May be able to have the position as the number 1 tried something different. No, he's going to have to back off. The inside just bogged the car down just a little bit too much there on the inside, and he's there, though. Number 7, Jeremy Thornton, he's still putting the pressure on the number 1 of DeMerchant. And now, if you're number 2 of Mike McKinney, this gives you a little bit of breathing room. That number 1 was all over you just a little bit ago, and now the 1's having the same issue with the guy behind him.
Yeah, 21 to go. Jesse Carr still out in front. McKinney in second. The Merchant third. Thornton in a fourth. And it's going to be Tailline rounding out the top 5. But I tell you what, a good 3-car battle going to be looming here very shortly for second, third, and fourth on the racetrack. It's still McKinney holding off the 1 of the Merchant. Thornton trying to make a move on the inside of the Merchant. Now gets a little tight on corner exit number 4.
Guys are starting to get spread out just a little bit here in this 3-car battle. Maybe it'll be a 4-car battle with that number 9 of Theraline. He was in the thick of it and had a little bit of an accident out of turns number 4. So if he gets back in it, it'd be really interesting to see how these guys play it out. But it seems like a small stalemate as these guys are still going at it. And I don't think there's any reservation in that number 1 or the number 7 when it comes down to trying to pass here. And it looks like the Merchant, he's going to give him the bumper, gave him a tiny hit, but it didn't work out for him. He's still going to be on the bottom side of the track, hit the inside wall, and now the number 7 of Jeremy Thornton, he's going to be on the inside. 3-way battle for it. Number 1's going to pitch it to the inside. He's going to maybe work it out. He's going to pass him. He's going to be side by side with him at the start-finish line, but he's going to have the preferred inside line.
Yeah, McKinney running on the top side. Look at Thornton on the outside, running right through the middle. He passes the Merchant. Tailline gets into the back of the Merchant. Thornton into the wall down the back straight. Tailline, the big mover in this one. He picks up a spot as the Merchant goes back to 5th. And I'll tell you what, McKinney utilised the top side really well along with Thornton. And now it's Tailline going to look to the low side in 1 and 2. He's got the Merchant in behind him.
Oh, how the tables have definitely turned for some of these drivers. Thornton is definitely in the catbird seat, or the number 4 of Jesse Carr's in the catbird seat. While all this is going on, he has a humongous lead of over 3 seconds. It's basically no contest at this point. These guys have battled out so hard at this point, and it's been great racing to watch, but he's been able to get so far away. No one's even been close to him. Look at the inside battle for the numbers 2 position. Looks like Jeremy Thornton. He's trying it again, trying it the very inside, and he's going to get right there. And he maybe made a little bit of a touch. He might be able to get in front of him. They're still side by side. Hit the start-finish line. Number 7, Jeremy Thornton, not going to have the power up, but he's still there on the inside. Here in 1 and 2, and he's not going to give up.
I'll tell you, the low side especially in turn number 2, is really slick at the moment. 15 laps to go. Carr is gone. He's no one's going to catch him unless we see a caution. Oh, look at Thornton on the inside. Well, Tailline to the outside. Tailline makes a run for 3rd. I said this outside line was going to come in. McKinney goes to the top shelf in 1 and 2. Tailline looking on the inside. They run side by side out of turn number 2. McKinney has the momentum on the top side, but going to 3 and 4, we could see a different story. Oh, Tailline in the back of McKinney. Man, McKinney's been beaten on here in this race.
He's been beaten on, but he has not given up that position as they go 2 by 2 behind him. Or side by side, I should say, right behind him. And that number 2, he's been so defensive, and it's really paid off as these guys are starting to catch him. And there's a bit of contact. Number 9's in the outside wall, and then the 7's back on the inside. And look at these guys, almost 3 wide behind them for the 4th position here as they come out of turns number 4. Great battling all over for these guys. And wow, that number 2 has done an impressive job of holding these guys off and being able to keep that number 2 position. He may not be racing for the lead, but it definitely looks like it the way he's driving. And these guys right now, they are starting to spin out just a little bit, getting closer and closer to 10 laps to go here.
Now, how about Virgil Graham in car number 12? He's made his way up into the top 5 as well. He got past the Merchant on the turn 1 and 2 on the last lap, and now he's running the low side Speedway, right in behind the number 9 here of Dylan Tailline. Thornton still in 3rd, McKinney in 2nd, but still Carr out in front with just 10 laps to go as he crosses the start-finish line this time by.
Man, if you're that number 2 of Mike McKinney, you've got to think to yourself, how have I held these guys off? Almost everybody has had a shot at him between Thornton, Caroline, Graham in that top 5. He just actually got past DeMerchant for that position, so DeMerchant is now -1 on that. And look at the battle for second, starting to heat it up again just a little bit, coming out of turns number 4. Thornton's trying it again, trying to see if he can get by him. Not quite there, but he will be vigilant. He will keep trying until something works out, but I just think that inside line has just gotten too slick and is not going to be able to work. He's got to try something different, but he keeps powering on the inside, and that 2 keeps on in the middle. Here it comes. It's maybe going to work this time. He hits him, and it's not going to work, and he blocks the number 9 of Dylan Turnline, and almost was calamity here on the front straightaway.
Yeah, look at this. 4 cars. Make that 5 cars. Nose to tail on the bottom side of the speedway. In 1 and 2, McKinney, Thornton, Turline, Graham to the inside of Turline right now, and to Merchant on the up on the top side here in 3 and 4. But it's just a freight train of late models here on the bottom side. What can Thornton do? Can he make the pass for second? Turline in 4th. Can he make the pass for even 3rd or 2nd? Look, we've only got 6 laps to go this time by. It's still anyone here for the runner-up spot.
This battle has been going on for the entire race for second, and these guys have just been getting into it. Look at the battle for third, though, right behind them, getting a little bit of action between those two. 9 and 7, they've hit each other earlier on. Still racing good, though, between those two drivers. This battle has been going on the entire race, and it will go to the very bitter end, one way or another. If it's the end of the race or if it's a hit and run for one of these guys, they are giving it all, and it's very impressive to see that these guys have beaten and banged but have not lost control of their race cars or just of the general race. So humongous props to those guys. Look at the 12 of Virgil Graham go to the inside, trying for the 4th position. Not quite there. Look at the 7. He gets in the outside wall. Thornton hits the outside wall. Just a little bit under 5 laps to go. Car has a 5-second lead almost, as these guys are still battling side by side for the 4th position. The 9 of Turline, he's going to be right there trying to make it work on the inside. The 7 of Thornton, he's going to push off the outside. He's going to be able to make sure he keeps his position.
Turline, look to the inside here of Thornton. Graham actually following Turline right now on the low side of the speedway. DeMerchant up on the top shelf. Turline and DeMerchant, they can't, Graham I should say, they can't make a run coming off corner number 2. That's where the top side comes out, and we see our first caution of the night.
First caution of the night will be the last caution, and will give the number 4 of Jesse Carr the victory tonight. It was basically uncontested, but an extremely good drive from that number 4 of Jesse Carr. Got the pole, and I almost want to say that is what won him the race. He'll have to make another circuit around the track, but an impressive job from the number 4 of Jesse Carr to do what he did. Get away from these guys and just drive the track, and everyone else drive themselves, and that's what got him the win. So I gotta say, good props to him for looking behind him. Action, action, action everywhere.
Yeah, look, action was one word that was not underperformed here tonight. All these drivers, even from like 2nd through to the top 6, maybe even 7 drivers, they were all contesting, with cars in front of them or behind them. But I tell you what, Jesse Carr, no one got near him. That car was G-O-N. He was out of here. A well-earned victory here for round number 5 of the World of Outlaws Craftsman Late Model Series.
And rounding the 3rd and 4th turn tonight, Jesse Carr. He will be a winner here in the World of Outlaws Craftsman Late Model Series here tonight, and he will get the big W. Like you said, huge pull away and definitely dominated. So give it up for the number 4 of Jesse Carr for his win tonight.
Man, what about that battle for the runner-ups between McKinney, Thornton, Turline? DeMerchant was there at one stage. Graham as well. He come in towards the end. He picked up 4 spots. Jeremy Thornton actually picked up 5 spots. So, I mean, from 8th to 3rd for that number 7 car of Jeremy Thornton, that's an extremely good run here at the USA.
Oh, most definitely. And that was some of the most impressive side-by-side racing for 5 drivers to be that close. So after an exciting finish, we'll take a moment, take our breath, step aside for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll give you the full official results of tonight's race. Stick around, everybody.
I actually, really enjoy dirt racing. Feels good to get in the car, and we have, great cars and engines and things at KKR, so it's nice to drive a fast sprint car.
Couple of separate lines developing, 3 wide action on a turn 2. Craig Kinzer, Casey Kane, and Garrett Pittman going at it.
I think the differences between, NASCAR and the sprint races on dirt is just a much different mindset. The way you drive your cars, the setup, the feel you're looking for. I think one of the hardest things to tell as a fan is when you're watching a race, whether it's a NASCAR race, a dirt race, is just what's really going on in the car. With iRacing, you can get the way that the track's changing, which they've done a great job in how the track changes throughout the night or throughout the race, just to try to capture it and let the fans play it and realize, like, man, there's actually a lot going on, and you can't always see that when you watch a race. So I think it's pretty neat. It's, enjoyable for me, but at the end of the day, it's actually much of a simulation, and there's a lot of ways that you can learn from that. And, early on, it was neat to look at the Cup tracks that I was going to, places that I had never been. So I think it kind of gives you a head start leading into a weekend. It's pretty real life, and that's pretty neat.
Welcome back to the World of Outlaws Craftsman Late Model Series tonight, as we have a winner, Jesse Carr. He wins tonight's race, as we'll go through your full field rundown powered by iRacing. Jesse Carr, he gets the win tonight, and Mike McKinney holds off 4 hungry drivers for that second position. Jeremy Thornton gets a good 3rd position after starting 8th. Dylan Turline, he gets the 4th position, and Virgil Graham, he will finish in the 5th position. Seth the Merchant will finish 6th. Justin Thomas will finish in the 7th position. David Coiler Jr., he finishes in the 8th position. Brad Lawson finishes in the 9th position. Grant Riles has an 8th position drop, so not the night he was looking for. Finishes 10th. Tim Bills finishes 11th. And David Bodio, he will finish 3 laps down and 12th. Brett, final thoughts tonight. It was crazy racing for that 2nd position and an utterly dominant performance by the number 4 tonight.
Look, Jesse Carr, that was always his race to win and lose, I guess you could say. But, started on the pole, led every lap. It was a dominating drive, as I said, drove away from the entire field. But, the battle for the runner-up spot between, McKinney, Thornton, Turline, Graham was there in the end, the Merchant as well. Thomas was there at the start of the race. Grant Riles, unfortunately, started on the outside of the front row. He fell back quite a fair way. These guys, they put on a show. The track was very difficult getting on the low side towards the end of the Speedway. So, hats off to McKinney to hold off all those guys. He's done a phenomenal job to hang on to 2nd. I guess that's a good night for McKinney. Obviously he wanted to win, but he just didn't have the car speed that Jesse Carr did.
So we congratulate Jesse Carr here tonight on his win. And once again, we want to thank all of you for joining us tonight for some dirt action. And we will hope to continue to see you in the following weeks as the World of Outlaws Craftsman Late Model, they go to Eldora next week, and you're not going to want to miss any of that action at the famed Big E. So from all of us here at LSR TV, Evan Pasoko, Andy Kessler, Laura Lawson, and the entire team tonight, myself, Austin Coop, Brett Wheeler, and Cisco Scaramuza, we say goodnight, and we will see you at the next track.